We call it a strike, but it was really a lockout. And the reason it took place was the owners of Chopwell Colliery were going to they wanted to force the miners back into the pits for less money, and they wanted them to work longer hours. And the union said, no, we will not accept this. So it meant that the miners had no income, no money, no nothing. Yet they had people to look after, they had relatives, they had families to bring up. And what they did was they lived off the land. The people who had gardens, and in those days most people did, they lived off their vegetables. Some people kept pigs, some people kept hens, and there was also the wood. They lived on nuts over there. They shot rabbits. They were extremely poor. But there was an organisation called the Guardians, the League of Guardians, and they gave so much money to people who were really unable to pay their rent. And the members of the union started to take control of all of the cars and the vans that came into the village. Of course, the place had to be supplied with food. Food was brought to the shops by vans, and there was what you call the Council of Action, and various prominent members of the village took charge of this. Now, the government was extremely annoyed, and they sent police in, and these police lived on were quartered on various families in the area. Nobody liked them. Now, there were people who insisted on working, and they were guarded by these policemen as they came to and from the pit. And ordinary members, men and women and sometimes children, came out and they used to shout at these people. Now, the vicar of Chopwell had a son, and he thought, because he was the vicar's son, he would be able to get to and from the pit without any interference. And what happened was, the people of Chopwell watched him, and they chased him all around the churchyard, and they sang hymns about him, they sang hymns to him, and he was only too eager to run away home, and he had a bad nervous breakdown after that. Now, what people didn't know was the government thought there was going to be a revolution. Now, do you know what a revolution is? Where people shoot each other. They thought there was going to be a revolution in Chopwell. And they didn't tell people at the time what they were doing, but they had great big ships moored off Newcastle with their guns pointed in the direction of Chopwell. And if a revolution had broken out, they were going to use these great big guns, and the village of Chopwell would have been wiped out. And for 60 years that was kept a secret by the government, and was only revealed a matter of 10 years ago. And in time, people got so poor that they had to give in, and they were forced to go back to the mine to work longer hours in worse conditions for less money.